Hey everyone, it's James here for the June 2021 Founders Log update. So you might remember in last month's video I mentioned we'd ordered a Polestar 2 for the car, an EV, but we're still waiting for it to come through. It originally was a 3-month lead time, so we're expecting to get it in September, but it's now been put back to, it was put back to October and now it's back to November. And that's down to the global silicon shortage, where people just can't manufacture enough chips, and of course they need the chips for inside the car for all the electronics to work, and if they can't get hold of them, it's just putting delays on the whole of the production line. So I'm hoping that November comes and we get the car in November. I've been checking it almost weekly. I was surprised actually earlier today when I was checking to find it was only 3 weeks ago that we put the order in. Feels a lot longer than that, but hey, so anyway, let's wait for November and see if it comes. We had a couple of leads come in this month. One looked really positive, like it was going to go places and they were going to become clients of ours. It was a small company for 6 people who were setting up a new finance investment firm based in London, and it was looking all good and it looked like they were all using Google Workspace and it looked like they were all coming to us, but the person we were chatting to hadn't actually started the company yet. He was going to be starting soon and he'd been assigned to go and look around for IT support, and they opted not to go with us and they've gone with another IT company, which I can't find any information about it. It looks like it's a bait and switcher. So that's a company that advertises that they do Google Workspace, but they don't. And what they do is they'll get you on board, and then because you're not getting great service because they don't really know how Google Workspace is working, they'll start saying, oh, don't use that. You want to use OneDrive, don't do this, you want to do that. And they'll just slowly try and get you over to Microsoft stuff. So you're using Microsoft, a service that they can apparently support. But that's what a bait and switcher is. They'll always advertise that they do Google Workspace, but they don't. And they'll try and get you to move across to Microsoft Office after you've signed the contract to get services and features that you want, just because they don't know how to turn those features on in Google Workspace or how to support you or get you the best out of that service. They were cheaper as well, so I think that probably was a factor too. It was a shame because we got on really well on the video call, but again, the guy we were chatting to wasn't the final decision maker. He was influential, but not the final decision maker, and they've opted to go to this other company for the time being. But I'm still in contact with Mitesh on LinkedIn, and we're having a good chat. So in the future, they might come back to us. We'll wait and see. The other thing that happened this month was that Kyle got COVID. So his whole family got taken out with COVID, and that put him out for about at least a week. It was kind of weird how COVID works because it hit him at the weekend, and he was off on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then on a Wednesday, he was feeling much better, and he was working for a day or so. And then the following day, he was hit again by COVID. It came back and took him out again for another 4 days. He is now back now and fully getting better. But it's a weird disease because he also had he'd had one jab and he was due his second jab on the week that he got COVID. He's now had his second jab too as well now. But it's interesting that even with the jab, you still need to be protecting yourself from COVID, because you can still catch it and it can still actually be really kind of mess up your week at least anyway. It's not a great disease or a nice disease to have, but luckily now with the vaccines, you're less likely to go into hospital for it. But it's not something that I'm looking forward to getting, so I'm going to try and keep away from getting it as much as I can. But it looks like it's going to be inevitable, especially with the opening up, that it's just going to spread a lot more. But again, like I said, with the vaccine, less likely to end up in hospital. So let's see what happens with that one too. And because of COVID, we're only able to do one podcast episode in June. So the last one of June, which was scheduled in, has now been moved on to July, and we'll be doing it next week. So it might be a slightly longer podcast because there's been quite a bit of news that's come out as well, and hacking and ransomware and all that stuff that we want to cover. So listen in for the podcast in 2 weeks' time at the KimberleyITpodcast.com is the website to go to, and you can subscribe to it there. Otherwise, keep subscribing to this YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming out as normal, and my next Founders Log will be next month, and I will recap what we're doing this month in that episode. So hit the subscribe button and enjoy, and hit the like. Bye-bye. And because of the COVID, we only were able to do one podcast. And because of Kyle getting COVID, we were only able to do one